Have you ever wondered why suffering seems to follow us, no matter where we go, no matter what we achieve? Before we dive into one of Buddhism's most profound teachings, if you're seeking wisdom that can actually transform how you experience life, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. This isn't just another philosophy video. This is about understanding the very mechanics of your existence. Let's begin. Imagine you're holding a chain. Each link connects to the next, and if you were to trace it backward, you'd find that every link depends on the one before it. Now imagine this chain isn't made of metal, but of moments. Moments that create your entire experience of life, suffering, and rebirth. This is what the Buddha discovered under the Bodhi tree 25 centuries ago, and he called it the 12 causes and conditions, or dependent origination. The Buddha didn't present this teaching as abstract philosophy. In the Samyutta Nikaya, he said, "When this exists, that comes to be. With the arising of this, that arises. When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases." Simple words, yet they contain the secret to understanding why we suffer and how we can be free. Think about the last time you felt genuinely trapped by something. Maybe an addiction, a relationship pattern, or a habit you couldn't break. You probably asked yourself, "How did I get here?" The 12 causes and conditions answer that question with startling precision. They show us that nothing in our experience appears randomly. Everything arises from conditions, and those conditions themselves arose from prior conditions. Stretching back in an unbroken chain, let's start at the very beginning of this chain. The first link is ignorance, but not ignorance in the way we usually think of it. This isn't about lacking information or being uneducated. The Buddha was pointing to something much deeper, a fundamental misunderstanding about the nature of reality itself. We don't see things as they truly are. We see them through a veil of our own projections, assumptions, and conditioned patterns. There's a beautiful Zen story about a master and his student walking through a forest. The student pointed at the moon and asked, "Master, what is that?" The master replied, "You're pointing at the moon, but you're looking at your finger. This is ignorance, mistaking the finger for the moon, mistaking our concepts about reality for reality itself. This ignorance isn't passive, it's actively creative. Because we don't see clearly, we form mental constructs, reactions, and karmic formations. This is the second link, volitional formations or mental formations. These are the deep-seated patterns, the habitual ways we respond to life based on our misunderstanding. Think of them as grooves worn into rock by water flowing over centuries. Every time we react from ignorance, we deepen these grooves. The Dalai Lama often speaks about how our habitual tendencies shape our future experiences. He says, "A disciplined mind leads to happiness, and an undisciplined mind leads to suffering." These mental formations are the undisciplined mind in action, automatic, unconscious, and powerfully creative. From these formations, consciousness arises. This is the third link. Now, this isn't consciousness in the general sense of being aware. The Buddha was pointing to something specific, the consciousness that carries forward into a new existence, the awareness that takes rebirth. Even if you don't believe in literal rebirth, you can observe this in your daily life. Every morning you wake up with a consciousness shaped by yesterday's patterns. The you that wakes up is conditioned by all the mental formations you've accumulated. A famous Chinese Zen master named Huangbo once said, "The foolish reject what they see, not what they think. The wise reject what they think, not what they see." This consciousness we carry is filled with what we think, all our accumulated patterns, rather than clear seeing of what actually is. As consciousness arises, it needs something to grasp onto. And this brings us to the fourth link, name and form. This is where consciousness takes on a psychophysical form. Name refers to the mental aspects, your thoughts, feelings, perceptions, while form refers to the physical body. Together, they create what we call a person, what we call me. Here's where it gets fascinating. Without consciousness, there's no name and form. But without name and form, consciousness has nothing to manifest through. They arise together, mutually dependent, like two sheaves of reeds leaning against each other. The Buddha used this exact metaphor in the sutras to show how nothing stands alone. Everything exists only in relationship to everything else. Once name and form exist, the 6 sense bases naturally develop. This is the 5th link. These aren't just your 5 physical senses, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, but also the mind as a 6th sense, the one that perceives thoughts and mental objects. These 6 sense bases are your windows to the world, but remember, they're windows colored by all the ignorance and formations that came before. The Japanese Zen master Dogen wrote, "To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by all things." But we don't forget the self. Instead, through these 6 sense bases, we constantly confirm and reinforce our sense of a separate self experiencing a separate world. Now comes something crucial, the 6th link, which is contact. This is where the sense organ meets the sense object in the presence of consciousness. You see a beautiful sunset, hear a song, taste something sweet. Contact is that meeting point, that encounter. It sounds simple, but the Buddha recognized this as a critical moment in the chain of suffering. Why? Because contact immediately gives rise to the 7th link, feeling. Not emotion, but the basic tone of experience, pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Every single contact through your 6 senses produces one of these 3 feelings. Right now, as you watch this video, you're experiencing countless contacts and countless feelings, mostly below your conscious awareness. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha taught monks to observe feelings as they arise. When experiencing a pleasant feeling, one knows, I am experiencing a pleasant feeling. When experiencing an unpleasant feeling, one knows, I am experiencing an unpleasant feeling. This awareness is revolutionary because most of us never notice this link in the chain. We jump immediately to the next one. That next link is craving, the 8th condition. And this is where things really heat up. The moment something pleasant touches us, we want more. The moment something unpleasant touches us, we want it gone. The moment something neutral touches us, we ignore it or want something else. This craving is like fire. It consumes everything it touches and always wants more fuel. There's a profound teaching from the Thai forest master Ajahn Chah. He said, "If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace. If you let go completely, you will have complete peace." But we don't let go. We crave. We reach. we push away, and when craving intensifies, it becomes the ninth link, clinging or grasping. This is craving that's become obsessive, sticky, desperate. We cling to pleasures, to views and opinions, to rituals and practices, to the very notion of self. The Buddha identified 4 types of clinging, but they all share one quality. They bind us to suffering. Think about the last time you couldn't let something go. Maybe it was an argument where you knew you should drop it, but you couldn't. Maybe it was checking your phone compulsively, knowing it was making you anxious. That's clinging in action. It feels like it's protecting you, securing something important, but it's actually the link in the chain that locks you into suffering. A student once asked the Zen master Bankei, "Master, I have terrible anger. How can I cure it?" Bankei replied, "Show me this anger. If it's yours, bring it out now." The student said, "I don't feel angry right now." Bankei smiled and said, "Then it's not inherently yours. It only arises when conditions are present. Why claim ownership of something that comes and goes?" This is the wisdom of seeing through clinging, recognizing that what we grasp at isn't even solid or permanent. But we don't see this. We keep grasping, and this grasping fuels the 10th link, becoming. This is the karmic energy that propels us forward into new states of existence. In traditional Buddhist cosmology, this means rebirth in various realms. But you don't have to believe in literal rebirth to see this at work. Every day, you become something based on your clinging. You become an anxious person through clinging to worry. You become an angry person through clinging to resentment. You become whoever your grasping creates. The Dhammapada, one of the most beloved Buddhist texts, opens with these words: "All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts." This becoming is the crystallization of all those thoughts, all that craving and clinging, into something concrete, a new state of being, and this becoming inevitably leads to the 11th link, birth. Again, traditionally, this means literal rebirth into a new life, but moment to moment, you're being born into new experiences, new identities, new sufferings. The you who started watching this video has already been born and died countless times. Each moment of consciousness arising is a birth. Finally, we arrive at the 12th link, old age and death. Where there's birth, there must be decay and dissolution. Everything that comes into being passes away. Your body ages and dies, but so do your ideas, your relationships, your plans, your hopes. The Buddha wasn't being pessimistic when he emphasized this. He was pointing to an undeniable truth that most of us spend our lives trying to avoid. The Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, "People have a hard time letting go of their suffering. Out of a fear of the unknown, they prefer suffering that is familiar. We fear death. We fear change. We fear the dissolution of everything we cling to." But the Buddha's teaching isn't meant to depress us. It's meant to wake us up. Here's the liberating part of this teaching, and it's crucial. The Buddha didn't present these 12 links just to explain suffering. He showed them to us so we could understand how to break the chain. Remember what he said? When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases. Imagine you're in a dark room, trapped, feeling your way along the walls. Then someone lights a lamp, Suddenly, you see the door. It was always there, but you couldn't see it in the darkness. The 12 causes and conditions are that lamp. They illuminate the mechanism of suffering so clearly that the way out becomes obvious. The key is the first link: ignorance. If ignorance doesn't arise, then volitional formations don't arise. If volitional formations don't arise, then consciousness isn't conditioned in the same way. The whole chain unravels. This is why the Buddha spent his entire teaching career helping people see clearly, helping them wake up from the dream of ignorance. But how do we actually work with this in daily life? It starts with awareness. The Buddha taught mindfulness not as a relaxation technique, but as a sword that cuts through ignorance. When you're mindful, you start to see the links forming in real time. You notice the contact, you notice the feeling, and then, here's the crucial moment, you notice the craving arising. A famous Zen master named Shunryu Suzuki said, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind, there are few." When you're mindful, you return to beginner's mind. You see each moment fresh, without the overlay of all your conditioned patterns. You see craving as craving, not as truth. You see it as one link in a chain, and you realize you don't have to forge the next link. This doesn't mean you become passive or emotionless. Far from it. It means you respond from wisdom instead of reacting from conditioning. There's a beautiful story about a monk who was insulted by someone in the street. His companion asked, "Why didn't you respond?" The monk smiled and said, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who does the gift belong to?" That's the freedom that comes from understanding these links. You don't have to accept every gift of suffering that life offers. The practice is actually quite simple, though not easy. When you notice yourself suffering, pause and trace the chain backward. What are you clinging to right now? What craving is present? What feeling triggered that craving? What contact produced that feeling? You don't have to analyze all 12 links every time. Just seeing a few links clearly begins to loosen their grip. The Dalai Lama often emphasizes that understanding dependent origination leads directly to compassion. When you see that everyone's suffering arises from this same chain of conditions, how can you judge them? How can you hate them? They're not evil. They're caught in ignorance, just as you sometimes are. This understanding naturally softens the heart. There's also profound freedom in recognizing that because everything arises from conditions, everything can change. You're not doomed to repeat the same patterns forever. The chain isn't made of steel, it's made of conditions, and conditions can shift. This is the hope embedded in the teaching. Your past doesn't determine your future unless you keep feeding it with the same ignorance and craving. The Buddha compared the mind to a wild forest monkey, jumping from branch to branch, never still. But through understanding these 12 links, through seeing them clearly, the monkey begins to settle, not through force, but through understanding. You wouldn't try to chain the monkey. You'd remove the conditions that keep it agitated. In one of the sutras, the Buddha told his disciples, "I will teach you the truth and the path leading to the truth." The 12 causes and conditions are both the truth of how suffering arises and the map showing the way to its cessation. They're not separate teachings, they're two sides of the same wisdom. What makes this teaching so practical is that you can work with it right now, in this moment. You don't need to wait for perfect conditions or years of meditation. Right now, you're experiencing contact through your senses, sight, sound, maybe physical sensations. Notice the feeling tone. Is it pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? Now, can you notice any craving arising? Maybe a craving for this video to get to the point faster, or a craving for certainty, or a craving to understand completely right away. Just noticing that craving without feeding it. That's breaking the chain. You didn't stop the craving from arising. That's not the point. You stopped the automatic progression from craving to clinging to becoming to more suffering. You inserted awareness into the chain, and awareness is the antidote to ignorance. The medieval Tibetan master Gampopa taught, "The greatest meditation is a mind that lets go." This letting go isn't about abandoning your life or becoming indifferent. It's about releasing the tight grip of clinging, the constant grasping that turns every experience into fuel for suffering. You might be wondering how this relates to achieving your goals or creating the life you want. Doesn't letting go mean giving up? Not at all. When you're not caught in the chain of conditioned reactions, you actually respond more effectively to life. You make clearer decisions. You're not driven by unconscious patterns, but by genuine wisdom and compassion. Think of it this way. When you're driving and you grip the steering wheel too tightly, your hands hurt and you can't steer smoothly. You need a firm but relaxed grip. That's what understanding dependent origination gives you. A way to engage with life fully, without the death grip of clinging that creates suffering. The Buddha's final words, according to tradition, were, "All conditioned things are impermanent. Work out your salvation with diligence." He was reminding his disciples one last time that because everything arises from conditions and conditions change, liberation is possible. But it requires diligence, consistent practice, honest observation, and the courage to see things as they are, rather than as we wish they were. This teaching has been preserved for 25 centuries, not because it's philosophical or interesting, but because it works. Generations of practitioners have used it to transform their suffering into understanding, their confusion into clarity. The Zen tradition, in particular, emphasizes direct seeing into the nature of mind and reality, which is exactly what the 12 causes and conditions point toward. As we come to the end of our exploration, remember that understanding these teachings intellectually is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when you begin to see these links operating in your own life, in real time. That's when theory becomes living wisdom. That's when knowledge becomes liberation. If this teaching has resonated with you, if you feel something shifting in how you understand your own suffering, then take the next step. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future teachings that can deepen your practice. Share this video with someone who might benefit from this ancient wisdom. Leave a comment about your own observations of these links in your life. Your insights help create a community of practitioners supporting each other on the path. The Buddha didn't ask anyone to believe him. He said, "Don't accept my words out of respect. Test them as you would test gold, by rubbing, cutting, and burning it. So test this teaching. Observe your own mind. Watch how contact leads to feeling, feeling to craving, craving to clinging, Watch how ignorance creates formations, how consciousness clings to name and form. Make the teaching your own through direct observation. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more clearly you see the chain that binds you, the more naturally it begins to loosen. Not through effort or struggle, but through the simple power of clear seeing. This is what the Buddha discovered under the Bodhi tree. That liberation isn't something you achieve by becoming something else, but something you discover by seeing clearly what you already are and how your experience actually works. The path is here, now, in this moment. The 12 links are operating right now as you finish watching this video. The contact of images and sounds, the feelings arising, perhaps some craving for more understanding or frustration at what seems complex. All of it, perfect material for practice, perfect conditions for awakening. May this understanding support your journey toward greater freedom, deeper peace, and the end of suffering. The Buddha's wisdom isn't locked in ancient texts. It's alive in every moment you choose awareness over automaticity, wisdom over ignorance, letting go over grasping. This is your inheritance as a human being, the capacity to wake up, to see clearly, and to be free.